Good morning, and thanks for joining me for another mindful moment. Today's mindful moment is inspired by a quote from our Mindful Life community today by Will Rogers. Wonderful piece of wisdom. Good judgment comes from experience, and a lot of that comes from making mistakes. So often we forget how much opportunity there is in making mistakes. We can really limit ourselves in our lives as we become afraid of making a mistake. How many things in our lives do we not do just out of fear that we might mess it up or somehow people see us not at our best? Mistakes sometimes can be debilitating in many ways, often to a degree that we don't even go and try to do some of the things that we feel that are really most important to us. So today I wanted to put out a thought. It's not a scientific proven thought, it's just a John Bruna-ism. A thought process I've had for a long time that I have found truly helpful in my life. And that is, what if there's no such thing as making a mistake? What if, in fact, we couldn't have done better? So in my life, I've made what we call many mistakes. I've done really stupid things. I've hurt people. I've hurt myself. I've really done things that I don't feel good about. But in that process, all of those things have helped me become a better human being. I've learned from those mistakes, and they've helped me gain the experience and good judgment that Will Rogers talks about. So here's how it works in my mind, is that at no time in my life did I ever decide to screw up on purpose. That just didn't happen. Yeah, I've done things that I regret. I've done things that are quite stupid, and I've even done things that I knew would be, turn out not so well. But at that time, at that particular moment, fundamentally, I did the best that I could in that moment. Whatever choice I made was the best I could do at that moment based on my emotions, the experiences I've had in my life, the things that were going on. In other words, I never on purpose tried to, mess up my life. So, holding that view in mind, every event in my life at any given time, fundamentally at the core, really, I was doing the best I could at that moment. And bringing that understanding into my life really helped me transform my life. Some of you know that I've had life, many years ago. I mean, I was homeless. I had to really change in order to become a more productive human being than I once was. All of this came about due to a lot of what we call mistakes, poor choices, etc. But those choices inevitably led to a point where I was able to change and improve my life. So going back to the quote, good judgment comes from experience. A lot of those comes from bad judgment. So today I encourage you to reflect upon this idea that whatever thing we do at any given moment, and if we're carrying some stuff from the past, or we have the idea that, man, I could have done a lot better there. Well, maybe you couldn't have at that moment, but you can now. And that's the key. The key is that at that moment, it's the best that we could have done. But because of that moment, you can do better now. And the best way to improve our past is to make today a better day and to become a better human being. So today's mindful moment, I encourage you to not be afraid of mistakes. Remember, they are the opportunities to grow and develop yourself. Thanks so much for joining me, and I look forward to chatting with you tomorrow.